Hello and welcome to my channel, Talisman Tarot. In this reading I will be asking the cards and spirit directly what the person on your mind is telling their friends about you. And so I have 6 groups here for you. This will be group number 1, this will be group number 2, this will be group number 3, this will be group number 4, this will be group number 5, and this will be group number 6. And so I will ask you to use your intuition to really choose the group that's right for you, the group that catches your eye, the group that speaks to you the most. And so you can pause the video if you need more time to choose the right group, but if you don't, I'll just proceed to the reading. And so, hello, group number 1. You chose this citrine bracelet, and what that tells me is that this person might be talking to their friends about you being quite privileged. And so you might come from a wealthy family, or you might live in a high income area, and this person might come from a low income area, and so they perceive you as being quite fortunate. And so it could also be fortunate like in comparison to this person, like they might compare themselves to you, and so they see you as quite fortunate compared to them. And so you might not be that wealthy, but in comparison you have some wealth. And so I also heard Brahmin, so if you come from India, maybe you come from a higher caste in the caste system than this person. And so I think this person talks about you being quite lucky, even from birth, that you are lucky to have been born in the family that you've been born into. And so I think this person is a bit envious of you. Like I feel this person talks about you having it easy compared to them. And so I want to draw some archetype cards just to really get a sense of what this person is telling their friends, how they describe you to their friends. And so Midas Miser, Visionary, Poet, Messiah, Father, Saboteur, and Rescuer reversed. So with the Midas Miser card here, it makes sense with the citrine bracelet. Citrine is a stone of prosperity, and Midas Miser is also about prosperity. The light attributes are entrepreneurial or creative ability to turn anything to gold, delight in sharing life's riches. So maybe you've also shared your riches with this person, so maybe you've been quite generous towards this person. But I also see that this person just sees you as someone who can turn anything to gold. And it doesn't necessarily have to do with money. It could also be that everything you touch turn into a success. And so I think this could also be referring to like how your flaws are also successful. And so with the Poet here card here, I think you might have an accent, you might talk with an accent, and the accent you talk with might be a bit more rhythmical or musical than the language that is spoken in the country that you live in. And so even your accent turns to success because you have a cute accent. And so it's like even your accent is like, that's supposed to be a flaw. is actually not considered a flaw by other people, because people actually see it as kind of cute and see it as you just talking very poetically, and that you in a way sing your words when you speak. And so you might come from somewhere where the native language might be Spanish or Italian or Indian or Norwegian or Icelandic, or, well, just actually any language where there's a rhythm, where there's da da, like the da 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 when you talk, like ups and downs when you talk. And so you might have that when you talk, and it's supposed to be a flaw, but it's not. And so this person is quite envious. Like, they see you as someone who has it all, who can turn anything to gold and anything to success, that you are very fortunate, that you've been fortunate even from birth, from just by looking at the family that you've been born into. And so you have all this privilege, or assumed privilege, and this person just feels like you can't have it all, that you have too much already, that you are too blessed already, that you have been blessed with all these things, and you can't just keep on being blessed. You can't just have this where everything you do just turns into gold, that even your flaws turns into gold. It's just, this person just sees it as quite unfair. And so that's the thing that this person talks about to their friends. And I think it's funny, because you might have grown up in a high income area, for example, but and this person assumes that because you grew up in a high income area, that your parents had a high income, which is a fair assumption, really. But I actually see that for many of you, your parents didn't. Your parents just really wanted people to think that they had a high income. They wanted to keep up appearances in a way. They didn't want anyone to know that they were struggling financially. And so I think your parents might actually have grown up in wealth themselves. Like your grandparents might have been wealthy. And so for many of you, I actually think your parents grew up maybe even in a different country, where they came from a wealthy family. And so your parents might have decided to move away from that country, and their parents might not have agreed on that move. And so when they moved away to that new country, the grandparents, or your grandparents, your parents cut ties to your parents, and your parents lost their whole support system. And so they started afresh in a new country where they didn't really have any money, but they still had a lot of pride. And so they didn't want to lower their standards and move into a low-income area. They wanted to keep up appearances. They wanted to keep this image that they had in their home country, where wealth was likely a part of their identity. And so they moved to a high-income area in this new country, even though they had a low income, because they saw the low-income area as a bit beneath them. And so they were maybe even poor throughout your childhood. You might have had to save up every penny, but they still thought it was worth it, that it was more important to be perceived from the outside world as wealthy than actually being wealthy. But of course, this only resonates with a few of you. But if that is the case, I think this person has been fooled as well to believe that you are wealthy and fortunate and privileged, and you might not have been that at all. Actually, I think this person has been even more privileged than you. And it's funny because this person is so envious of you. They think you've had it easy, but if they just knew the things you've had to deal with throughout your life, then they wouldn't be that envious of you. And so, well, I say that this person perceives themselves as a bit of a victim, and I think it might be because they experienced something horrible as a child. Maybe their parents abused them and neglected them. Maybe they had parents who were drug addicts or criminals, or maybe they actually experienced some tragedy, maybe the loss of a parent or a sibling or something like that. But what this person doesn't seem to realize is that you've experienced the exact same thing as this person. Like, I think the trauma you've experienced is so very similar, but the amount of support you've gotten is very, very different. This person has actually received a lot of support. That's why they perceive themselves as a victim, because everyone has taken pity on them throughout their whole life. And it makes sense to me, because their childhood trauma very likely was completely out in the open. Their parents didn't try to hide it. So the school noticed, and the neighbors noticed, and they all came to this person's rescue. They all stepped up and offered help and support, whereas you might have experienced the exact same trauma, but no one noticed because your parents were good at covering it up. And so you might have been robbed from your victimhood in a way, because no one took pity on you. And if I'm right about the fact that your parents moved to a different country, then I think you felt like you were all alone. And it's a bit like being held hostage when your parents move you to a different country, because if they hurt you in the new country, if they abuse you and neglect you, then you have nowhere to go. You can't rat them out to your teachers or social services, because then you will end up in foster care in a family that in a foreign country, and who speak a foreign language, like a family that doesn't speak the same language as you. And so you are kind of stuck with your parents. They are the only support system you have. They are the only ones that knows your language and your culture, and who really understand you. And so you can very easily develop Stockholm syndrome towards your parents, because you are held hostage in a way, because there are no other alternatives. And so you form an intense loyalty towards your parents. And when people from the outside world ask you if something is going on at home, you tell them no, and you tell them that everything is different, is not different, that everything is perfect, that everything is all right at home, that because, well, your parents have eliminated all competition by making you rely fully on them, since they are the only people who can talk to you on your native language. They are the only ones who can fully understand you, and they are the only ones who share your culture. And so you ignore the abuse and neglect. You ignore the beating and the drinking because you have to. And you make sure to not tell anyone, because foster care would be like getting abducted by aliens, and that is much more scary than getting beaten up by your drunk father. So yeah, also if your parents didn't move to a different country, I just get that they were good at keeping up appearances. And maybe for some of you, your parents actually were rich, and that is the case for some of you. I see that. And so maybe the reason why no one supported you growing up was because everyone assumed that you were being taken care of, because you came from a stable family that looked perfect from the outside. And so no one took pity on you, and this person that you are asking about received the opposite reaction. They were being showered with pity, and so I don't think you experienced any privilege at all. I think you were actually very unfortunate because you were robbed from your victimhood. But well, let's get back to what this person is telling their friends. And again, this reading is very bittersweet, and it's very envious. And with the visionary and the poet card here, this person really talks quite highly of you. They talk about how you are extremely talented, that you have the talent of expressing yourself with words. And so maybe you are a writer, and maybe you've written something and posted it on social media, and this person might have read it and thought it was really great. And it's funny because I actually see that this person well, okay, so if you posted something on social media that you've written, I actually think there was a part of this person there was a part of this person that kind of hoped that the thing that you posted on social media would suck in a way, that it wouldn't be that great. I think they hoped that it wouldn't be that great because they are very envious of you. They are annoyed that you are so good at everything, and so they feel like it's a bit unfair that you are also very good at writing, and so they hope that it would be bad because they feel like you already have it all. You're already so blessed with so many gifts, and so the natural gift of like expressing yourself with words is not something this person would give you. Like, they wouldn't give you that. They feel like you have so much. They wouldn't want you to have that. And it's an envious energy. So I think this person just feels like you've been blessed with wealth and privilege, and you might also be very good looking. And so I think this person just sees it as very unfair that you also have this great talent that will bring you even more wealth and success in the future, that you have some kind of star quality. And with the Messiah here as well, like, well, this person could see you as a bit sanctimonious, but I also just get that this person sees you as someone who will change the world with your gift, that you will end up in the story, in the history books, that you will that your name will be known in some way. And so I think this has to do with writing. I think this person sees you as the type who will do something groundbreaking with your writing, because, and it's a bit bittersweet, because they don't really want you to succeed, not in like a bad way. It's just because this person can't really be happy on other people's behalf. They feel like the success of other people are a bit unfair, because they feel like they should have that success themselves. And so it's a bit of like, this person has so much self-pity that they can't really see past the tip of their own nose. And so I think this person sees you as someone who's naturally good at everything, that you don't have to practice. Like, you can play a game that you've never played before and win against people who have practiced the same game for years. Like, you have that beginner's luck at everything you do. You're probably the type who can go to an exam without having studied for it, and then you just get an A. And so I think that is also what this person talks about when they talk about you being quite privileged. Like, you might just be very blessed by God, and when you mess up, your mess ups turn into a success as well. Like, you're like the wild card that people invite into cooking shows. You know, the person that comes in with absolutely no experience in a kitchen, who doesn't follow the recipe, who screws up numerous times and somehow manages to make a dish that is not only edible, but actually better than all the other dishes made by professional chefs. And well, this person sees you like that wild card, that person who comes in with no experience, who can just blow everyone away with your natural talent. But what this person doesn't see is that for some of you, this is a facade you put on. Maybe you are only pretending. Maybe you actually did study for that test, for example, that exam, but you said that you didn't just because you don't want people to take pity on you if you should fail. And that's probably because it makes you uncomfortable, because you're not used to people taking pity on you, and so you want to prevent that from happening, and so you tell everyone that you haven't studied for a test, for example, because then if you fail, people will not take pity on you. They will more likely be very harsh towards you and tell you that it's your own fault because you didn't study. And that is something you are more comfortable with than if, like, you're more comfortable with people blaming you for your own misfortune than people taking pity on you. And well, I think this person doesn't understand this defense mechanism, because I think this person is the total opposite. This person is the type who won't study at all for an exam and then tell everyone that they've studied day and night for the past many weeks, because then if they fail, people will take pity on them and tell them that it wasn't their fault, that they did the best that they could. And people might even blame the teachers, or they might blame the teachers themselves. And or some outer circumstances, and that's because they are very used to feeling like the victim. They are being they feel like they are being treated unfairly, that it must be everyone else's fault and not their own if they fail, that people should have helped them better, that the help they got wasn't adequate, and that it is something that, well, I think this whole mentality that this person has is very foreign to you. I don't think you really understand this person, and I don't think this person understands you. And so I don't think this person understands when you are downplaying yourself, when you are acting like you haven't studied for a test, that it's you downplaying yourself. That's not something this person understands. Like, they don't understand why people would act like they haven't studied when they actually have studied, because the thought is so foreign. And so they think you are telling the truth, that you haven't studied at all, and so they just perceive it as extremely unfair that someone who hasn't studied can actually get an A. And then again, you become like a part of their belief system, that the universe is against them, that everyone has it much easier than them, that everyone is more fortunate than them. And so they might even think that like the teachers have some conspiracy against them, that they are favoring some students over others, and so maybe they even think that you are being favored over the other students because you are privileged, because of the background you come from, or even because you're good looking. And so it's like this person finds every opportunity to play the victim, really, because they see everything as unfair to them. And so it's a very envious energy again, but it's funny because it's like, if you imagine like a tree, then you both came from the same root. You both have the same root, but you branched out into two very different directions. And it is because this person needed rescuing as a child, and they got it from so many people that they never really evolved past that role of needing rescuing, even after they were rescued, like with the rescuer card here. That's what I see with this card here. Like, even after they were rescued, they still felt like the one, or they still feel like today as the one being who needs rescuing. And you don't. Like, you are the opposite. You don't feel like you need rescuing at all. And you feel like the person who needs to rescue others. And so that was probably because everyone kept this person in that role, by always seeing them as the child who needed rescuing, even after they entered adulthood. And so they learned that the world kind of revolves around them, that everyone is supposed to carry them throughout life, and that no one should expect anything in return. They believe that every friendship and every relationship is a one-way street. They don't understand that if someone scratches their back, it's common courtesy to scratch this person's back as well. Like that it's a favor that can be returned and should be returned. But this is the reality that this person has been presented with, like in the Truman Show. Like they believe that this is the reality because they don't know anything else. Like they are used to everything revolving around them, that all the people around them only exist to help and support them. And so maybe this person was brought up in the system where people were paid to care for them. But like I think this person is just used to people never expecting anything from them. And so I think this person might have, like you might have had an argument with this person because of this in the past, that like where you had been helping this person with a lot of things, and then you asked them for a very small favor and said like, and this person refused to do that small favor for you because they just didn't feel like it was their place to do it. And so they might even have called you needy, and judged you for being too needy. And then you ask, like, I also see like a scenario where this person was actually with their friends, and then they got a text from you where you asked for help with something, and they ignored it and put the phone back into their pocket, and the friends around them asked them if they shouldn't respond to that text that they got, and they just said no, that you were just being needy, and so they ignored the text on purpose. And you might have had a suspicion that they did that on purpose, and so you called them out for it and told them that it wasn't okay, that you were not going to allow them to treat you that way. And so you might have actually got contact with this person, and after, like, and I think that's a good move. I think that was a good move of you, because they actually did do it on purpose, even if they said that they didn't, like if they tried to argue afterwards that they didn't do it on purpose, they actually did. They ignored that text. And so it was wise of you to cut contact. And so I think this person lacks some self-awareness, so they actually do blame you for, with the saboteur card here, they blame you for this relationship going sideways. I think this person talks about you being the saboteur of this relationship or friendship, but I also get that this person actually talks about you being a bit of a buzzkill as well. And I know that's very negative, but like maybe this person is bad-mouthing you because they feel hurt that you abandoned them. But I see that they are talking about a few situations where you got offended by something they said. They might have made like a racist joke or like an offensive joke about child molestation, and you told them that you didn't think it was funny, and that you didn't think it was something to make jokes about. And they might talk to their friends about you being a bit uptight because you can't take a joke. I also heard the phrase, I bet you're fun at parties. So like I think this person made a joke once, and you sabotaged it by saying that it was maybe statistically inaccurate or something like that, and or that it was offensive in some way. And this person might have said like, I bet you're fun at parties, like as a sarcastic remark. And so like I think maybe this person is again, bad-mouthing you because they feel a bit hurt. And so with the father card here, I get that as well, that this person might be talking about you having daddy issues, and that might also be like an excuse for why you abandoned them. And so they might be talking about you being a bit of a tease, that you like that you maybe only flirted with them because you had daddy issues. And so like I see two scenarios. Either your father was very strict in your childhood and didn't allow you to do anything, and so this person talks about how you are rebelling against your father in some way. But I also see that another scenario where your father maybe was an addict or violent or something like that in your childhood. And so this person talks about you choosing partners who are similar to your dad. And so maybe this person actually sees themselves as a bit similar to your dad. And so they might have felt like you were only after them because you had some unresolved issues with your dad, or maybe that's something they have thought about afterwards as a reason why you got contact with them. But I don't think that was the reason at all. But it might have made this person feel better to think that. And so I think I also think that maybe if that is not the case, if you don't have daddy issues, if that's not what it's about, I just think that maybe something happened with your father recently even. Maybe your father has been ill recently, or your father might have passed away. But I get more of a sense that your father has been ill, maybe mentally ill in some way, but and so maybe you have been very affected by that. And so this might have affected your life, like you might have dropped out of your school, or you might have taken a leave of absence, and because of this family tragedy in some way, that it could also, it doesn't have to be with your father, like there might have just been a family tragedy that you have been very affected by recently. And so I think even in your grief, I think this person is envious of you, because they see you as this person who is so privileged that you can even take a leave of absence when your father is ill, because that was something they felt like they couldn't do themselves. And they might actually have had the opportunity to do it, but they didn't, because they thought their career was more important. But like they want to bash you for taking this opportunity to take a leave of absence, for example. And so they feel like you are very fortunate to be able to do this for some reason. And so I think again, they are making it all about themselves. Like you might be going through something really rough, and instead of offering you help and support, they focus on how it's so unfair that you get to take a leave of absence when they can't do that, or they couldn't do that when they needed it at the time. And so that they are the victim to some great injustice because you have gotten something that they didn't get. So yeah, this person is like the child who needs to get a present when they are at other children's birthday parties, because otherwise they would make a scene. And so they can't just be happy on other people's behalf. So I think yeah, so the art, like they can't, like, so the argument might actually have been about that as well. Like you might have told this person that you were sad about this thing that happened in your family, and they just told you to suck it up and move on, that you shouldn't whine about this. And I think you were hoping that they would have been more understanding, considering that they had experienced something extremely similar themselves, but they were so caught up in their own self-pity that they couldn't take pity on you. And so I think that's that. But let's draw some more cards here, just to really get a sense of what this, I want to have like a timeline. So I feel like I want to know what this person told their friends about you in the past. So because I feel like that might be interesting. So the Ace of Pentacles, the Empress reversed, Two of Pentacles. So yeah, I think what this tells me is that, like, with the Ace of Pentacles, I think their whole agenda, all of, like, from the beginning, might actually have had to do with money. And so, like, I get a bit of a gold digger vibe, but, like, maybe this person actually, like, started engaging with you because they saw you as a financial opportunity, and they might actually have been interested in your money all along. And well, it doesn't really surprise me, because this person is the type who takes advantage of people. They see what others can offer them and not what they can offer others. They are very selfish that way. And so if you borrowed this person money in the past, I think this might actually have been the agenda all along. And so with the Empress card here, I think this person talks about, like, if this is a romantic interest, someone you had a romantic relationship with, or someone you flirted with in the past, I think this person didn't see you as a love interest in the past. They didn't see you as someone who they were interested in that way. That so this could also have something to do with, like, the mother not being present in all this, but mostly I just think that it has to do with not with there not being any interest romantically in the past. And so, but it might have changed a bit. Like, this person might have gone a bit back and forth with their perception of you. They might have loved you in like, sometimes hated you in other times, and, like, so they might have gone a bit back and forth. And I think I don't really think this person in the past really knew what they felt about you. You might have noticed that this person would text you every day for a few weeks, and then suddenly there would be radio silence for months. And so I think this person just couldn't really decide how they felt about you. And well, let's draw some more cards about how they feel about you in the present. And so, Page of Wands, Seven of Pentacles, Five of Swords, and 10 of Pentacles. And so what I see with the Page of Wands is that this is a cat. And so this person might see you as a bit of a cat. They might see you as someone who ignores them, that you that's just justified. If this person ignored you in the past, then it's justified that you also ignore them as well. And so I think I also think that well, with the Seven of Pentacles here, like you can see how this is a picture of like this is a family tree, and this is someone crying on top of that tree. And so this is confirmation that there might have happened something in your family, that a family tragedy in some way that has really affected you a lot. And I think this person sees that how it has affected you. And so I think this could be, well, it could be something that has happened recently, someone who's gotten ill, but it could also be some repressed emotions from your childhood, that repressed memories that has bubbled up recently, and maybe it's both. Maybe this illness of someone in your family has brought back some traumatic memories from the past. And so I think this person sees that you are grieving, but again, they seem to lack empathy with the Five of Swords here. So they might be telling their friends that you are like this person on this card, that you are just lying there waiting for the swords to hit you. And I think this person just thinks you should roll over and move on. Then in that way that the swords can't hit you if you just move on. And so I think this person wants you to distance, not let it affect you. And well, that's not very compassionate. I think the argument for why you should just suck it up is actually the 10 of Pentacles here. I don't think this person feels that you are allowed to feel grief and pain because you are so privileged, because you have it easy, because money just falls into your pocket, like the picture here. You are a winner anyways. And so this could also be referring to you. Well, maybe this reading is also referring to how you might have a bit of a bad taste when it comes to partners, that you have a tendency to choose abusive partners, and that you make yourself a target, like on the picture here, that you maybe that you are in danger in some way, that you are endangering yourself, that you intentionally put yourself in danger, and maybe that you choose partners that you know won't last because you deep down aren't really ready for a serious commitment. That and so, but I think you have come a long way. You have already taken a step in the right direction since you've cut contact with this person. I think you have a lot of, or set boundaries for this person. I think you have a lot of healing to do, and I think you have discovered your own victimhood, which is what made you able to set boundaries for this person. You are starting to recognize when people hurt you, which is something you weren't able to do before. And so it's fine that this person might see you as the Five of Swords, the Five of Swords right now, because it tells me that you are on your journey to recovery. And since you have never felt comfortable in your own victimhood, you need to learn to be comfortable in it. And that is a process where at first you might wallow in your own grief and self-pity, and people like this person will ask you to suck it up. but they don't understand what you're going through, because if anything, they are too comfortable in their victimhood themselves, and so they don't know what a challenge it is to actually claim your victimhood for the first time after having repressed it your whole life. And so you should be aware that when you open that vent to your victimhood, then repressed memories and emotions will hit you like a tsunami and send it, and well, it will all hit you at the same time. And since it will hit you at the same time, people won't realize that it's repressed emotions that you've been repressing throughout your whole life, and so they will just assume that you are wallowing in your own self-pity, when actually you're just feeling emotions that you should have felt a long time ago, but that you've repressed all your life. And so, well, it will all hit at the same time, and so don't let people get to you, because it's an important part of this process. Don't let people tell you that it's not okay to feel self-pity for the first time. Like, it's, even though you might, like, it might hit very hard at first with a lot of emotions that you have to deal with at once, but it's an important process. It's an important part of the process to get comfortable in your own victimhood. And so it doesn't matter if you drop out of school or miss out of some career opportunity, because you are in a healing process right now. You are getting in touch with your emotions, and when you've gotten in touch with your emotions, everything else will fall into place. You won't miss out on anything, because if you can miss out on something, then it wasn't yours to begin with. I say that you have a bright future ahead of you, but your only job right now is to make sure that there is a you in the future, that you will be in the future. So focus on healing yourself. So remember that. And well, to something completely different, I say that in the past you might have had an argument with this person where they said something hurtful to you, and instead of expressing your victimhood and telling them that the remark that they said to you was hurtful, you instead gave them a piece of their own medicine and said the exact same remark that was hurtful to you back to them. And so, like, for example, this person could have said that you were ugly, and you responded by saying that they weren't that good looking themselves, and this person got mad at you for that, and you tried to explain that you only said the exact same thing that they had said to you right before that. And well, the truth is that you were both wrong in this situation, and I think you know that, because of course you should have just said that it was hurtful, that the remark was hurtful to you, instead of stooping to their level to prove a point. But I understand why you didn't just say that it was hurtful, because you didn't really know how to express your victimhood back then. And so it was easier to make this person a victim to the same crime, and then wait until they expressed their victimhood and then claim that victimhood that they expressed as your own, because it was your own to begin with. And so it was because you were uncomfortable expressing it yourself. It was because you were uncomfortable saying that it was hurtful. It was easier to hurt the person back and ask them how it made them feel, and make them realize that the feeling that they felt was the feeling that you felt, instead of just expressing it with words yourself. And so I actually think the reason why your victimhood is so hostile for you to, like, you feel so hostile, it's a hostile environment to be in your own victimhood. And I think that's because either your mother or your father always used the word victim as a condescending curse word. Like, I feel like this might have been your mother, but I think she might have said hurtful things and done hurtful things towards you in your childhood. And if you told her that you were hurt by these things, she would instantly tell you that you were just playing the victim. And I think you are extremely afraid of playing the victim. And I think you were gaslighted by your mother into thinking you were playing the victim when you actually were the victim. And so that's maybe something you might need to deal with your mother here. But like, that's what I see here for you, group number 1. I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you in my next reading. So bye. Hello, group number 1. Group number 2, you chose this impact height, and so I will start with a channeled message, and then I will proceed to the cards. So first of all, I think this person is telling their friends that, well, I think they actually talk very highly of you. They see you as this very positive person, like very bubbly, like you might be very happy all the time. You might be smiling all the time. Like, I think this person just has like only good things to say about you. Like, I feel like for some of you, this person might be a bartender, because like, I feel like this person, like when you meet this person, there is like a counter between you two. And so I also think they've seen you dance a lot, but I don't think they've danced with you. So, well, maybe this person is just not the type who dances a lot, but I don't think they've danced with you. So maybe this person is, well, just not the type who dances. But they could also be a bartender, so they might not have been able to dance with you because they were working as a bartender. But like, I think this person sees you as quite cheerful, and maybe you wear like happy colors, like you might wear the color pink a lot. But I'm seeing that you are like, you're not over the top in your dressing style. Like, you don't wear a lot of accessories, and like, you keep your style quite simplistic, but you might wear colors that are on the more happy side. But you could also just be a very happy person yourself, and so you might light up a room because of your personality, your happy personality. You might also blush a lot, or you might wear blush. But like, I feel like this person just talks about you being very sweet and kind. I also had like an image of this big house, so like with a chandelier. So I don't know if this person talks about how you come from a wealthy family. You might also have a last name that is famous, and maybe someone in your family is famous and well known, maybe a politician or a senator or something like that, or like I don't know, but like I get something about O.J. Simpson, and not that I think you are related to him, but like maybe you are related to someone who were like involved in that case in some way. I don't know, but I know it's very unlikely, but that came through. But for some of you, I think you might just have the same last name as someone famous. And maybe you are used to people asking you if you are related to someone famous, and maybe this person also talks to their friends about that. Like maybe they've asked their friends if you are related to someone famous, or maybe someone else has asked, maybe their friends have asked this person if you are related to someone famous. And so I also heard the song Just a Friend by Bismarckle, and so maybe this person feels like you friend-zoned them, or maybe this person friend-zoned you. But let's draw some archetype cards just to really get a sense of what this person is telling their friends about you. And so, prostitute, virgin, mother, damsel, king. So, okay, with the prostitute and the virgin here, I think this person talks about you being a lady on the streets and a freak in the sheets. I think this person talks about you having this wild side to you, and like I see that this person talks about you being very sweet and kind and caring, and but they still have like a sense of you having, like they feel like you have this wild side to you. But this could also be referring to you studying something that is maybe not your passion, but something you are only studying because of the money. So maybe you are in law school or something like that, and maybe this person talks about you only studying that because of the money, that you are a bit of a prostitute because you are throwing away your integrity to pursue something, some career that is maybe a bit morally problematic because it gives you a lot of money. And so it could also be like that you want to be a plastic surgeon, like, and or something like that. And so I think this person just sees you as like this pure person who's like too good for this world, and that you shouldn't be in this field that is so shallow in a way, and also competitive, and they don't really see you as this person who would fight for yourself in that way. Like if you want to be a lawyer, like law is very competitive. You need to like you need to step on some people's toes to get success in that field, like to get to the top. And so I just think that this person just feels like you are not that kind of person, that you are much more pure than that. That also maybe this person knows the type of women who are studying law, for example, and not that you are necessarily a woman, but like there's maybe a stereotype in the people who study law or like business or something like that, that they are a bit snobbish in a way, that they and so they don't see you as that at all, and so they feel like you have to maybe you even have changed like your clothing style and like to fit in to the field that you want to be in, like if you are studying law or business or plastic surgery or whatever, like this person feels like you have changed your appearance to really fit in, and they feel like maybe when they met you first, they thought you were like a bit of a mean girl, like from the movie Mean Girls, like that you were this shallow person because you were wearing like the right clothes and makeup and looked like one of those girls, but then they got to know you and they realized that you were not at all like that, and so they might talk to their friends about how you don't fit in to the field or the education that you are in right now, that you are trying to change yourself into like fitting into that box, that, and so but I also just think that this person sees you as someone who's a lady in the streets and a freak in the streets, and that you are this type who has a wild side. And maybe if you've had sex with this person, then that's probably why they are telling their friends about that, because maybe they've witnessed that. But like, if they haven't, I just think that they see you as someone who might have that. But also with the mother card here, this person is telling their friends that they want you to be the mother of their children, but like I also just see that they see you as someone who would be a very great mother, that you have this mother side to you where you are very caring and nurturing, and I think this person also, like with the damsel here, like I think this person wants to be the knight in shining armor. They want to swoop you off your feet, and with the king here, they might talk about you as, maybe they talk about themselves as wanting to be your king, but they could also be talking about your father. So maybe it's your father who is this well-known figure who might be rich or who might have some success, but they could also be talking about you being a bit bossy, that you like to be in charge, and not in a bad way. I think this person likes that you have this dominating side to you, because I guess that might be the freak in the sheets. Like maybe they see you as someone who could be a dominatrix, but I don't think you are like dominating usually with a virgin here. Like I think you are very sweet and kind and mild usually, but I think this person has witnessed that other side of you as well, and actually you might only act a bit dominating towards this particular person. Maybe when you are together, you become a bit like a married couple where you jokingly nag and boss this person around, and they play along, and maybe it's a bit of a skit you have together, like an inside joke where you both know that you are not being serious. And I actually think that I think it's quite precious, because I don't think you have that with anyone else. I don't think you are this person towards anyone else. Like, I see that you are, well, you are a fun person, but like, I think this person just brings a more playful side out in you, and like, you just want to mess with this person, and I think this is quite cute. But let's draw some cards just to really get a sense of what this person told their friends about you in the past. So 3 of Swords, 2 of Wands, 4 of Pentacles reversed, Death reversed, 4 of Wands, 9 of Wands, 7 of Pentacles. So, okay, with the 3 of Swords here, and the Virgin card as well, and the Damsel as well, I feel like you are probably the third wheel here. Like, you are probably the one who were friend-zoned, because I think this person had a boyfriend or a girlfriend when they met you, and so I think you were, well, you were friend-zoned. And I think there was a love triangle going on. Maybe in the past you well, I think this person met you when they had, like I said before, when they had a girlfriend or boyfriend, but they just clicked with you and fell in love with you, and this was not supposed to happen because they were already in a relationship with someone else, but like, there was so much chemistry between you two, and it was really hard for them because they had to choose between you two, and they were already committed to that person, and I think they kept that commitment. So I think that might have been what happened between you two, but I definitely think that there was something, like, this person, this is about what this person is telling their friends about you, and so I think this person told their friends that you were just friends and that there was nothing going on. But I think there was actually a lot going on there, but they couldn't, of course, tell their friends about it because they were already in a relationship. And so I don't think this person cheated on their partner with you, but like, I think this person actually felt like they were cheating on their partner with you because they spent so much time with you. I think you grew closer and closer, and they might even have felt like at some point that they were more close to you than they were to their girlfriend or boyfriend. And they felt like it was a shame that they were involved with someone else at the time, because they actually might have felt like they found their soulmate in you, and that it was a shame that you met at the time that you met, because if you had met before they got in a relationship with someone else, they would have married you right on the spot. And I hate to say that, but like, I think they really felt a big connection with you, but they were very conflicted. And like with the Four of Pentacles here, like I think this person felt like they might have shared a bit too much with you at some point, and they might even have shared something to you about their partner, and they might have felt a bit bad about that. And so, but I think they see you as someone who, like, you have this gift of just making people open up, that you have this homey vibe where people just feel comfortable around you, and so they felt like they could tell you all of things. And I also just think this person also just saw you as quite generous. Like, if you went to a bar with this person, I think you offered to buy them a drink, and you might have done that a few times actually, and you might also have borrowed them some money. And I also think this person saw you, well, they just saw you as a very helpful person. Like, you might be the type who, if someone says that their printer broke down, then you are very quick to borrow them your printer, or to offer to print something for them. Like, you are very helpful and generous, and like you might also be the type who, if someone visits you at your home, you tell them mi casa is su casa, and that's and like you, like, what's mine is yours. And I think you have a gift to make people feel at home, even outside your home. Like, people just feel at home around you. You make people very comfortable. Like, you might be a Cancer, you could be a Cancer rising. Like, I think people feel at home around you, and I think this person felt very comfortable around you. Like, they could picture themselves in a relationship with you, which I think is why they felt like they were cheating on their partner with you, because they were already starting to picture this future with you. And so with the Death card here reversed, I think this person could be a Scorpio, but like, I also just think that this person just talked to, like, with the Death here, like, when it's upright, it's something having to end so that something new can begin. And so when it's reversed, I think that this could be referring to the relationship. Like, they might have talked to their friends about how the relationship, how the only way they could be in a relationship with you was if they ended the relationship with their partner. But they weren't ready to do that. They weren't ready to let go of that relationship yet. But I also think that this person was talking about how they weren't ready to let go of the relationship with you either. I think this person was very conflicted. They didn't know what to do, and their friends might have encouraged them to make a decision, but I just don't think they could. So on a more cheerful note, this person could also have been talking about you needing to let go of something with the Death card reversed. Like, it may be in a joking manner. I see like a scenario, like maybe you had like a fight, but not a real fight with this person. Like, this person might have said something to you in the past that you keep bringing up to this person. Like, so I think this person said something to you once that sounded very bad, or that could be easily misinterpreted. Like, for example, maybe they told you that you were not like all the pretty girls, and you might have responded to that so you're saying I'm not pretty, and they try to save it, and like maybe they just dug themselves deeper and deeper. And well, it's funny because you knew very very well what they meant at the time, that you were just not that you were just a lot nicer than all the pretty girls, and like that it was actually a compliment, but and that you were different in some way, like that you were different than they had assumed that you were, from like looking at you, that you and so like you knew what they meant, but like you had fun tormenting them about it and acting offended about it, and like maybe you jokingly brought it up once in a while just to mess with them. And well, I think this person might have like said to their friends that you needed to let that go already. So like I see a scenario where you might have been to a bar or a club with this person, and they were at a table talking to their friends, and you might have sat down at the table with them and brought it up casually to their friends. Like you might have said to their friends that they wouldn't believe all the nasty insults that this person has given you, and then you told them all the things they said, and then you walked away, and then their friends asked them about it, where they had to explain that it was all just a misunderstanding and that it was not what they actually meant to say. Like, and so with the nine of wands here, like I think this person talked about how you were really quick to come up with a good comeback, and I actually think they admired you for that. You always knew what to say to people. Like if someone said something offensive to you, you might have been really good at coming up with a good response. I also think this person talked about you having a bit of a potty mouth, and maybe also that like also with like the king card here, like I think maybe this person saw you as a bit like one of the guys in a way, that you were a bit masculine. Also, I think this person saw you as quite feminine, but you had like a side of you that was a bit masculine, like you were one of the guys you could kid around, you could make jokes, like, and you had a potty mouth and like some that. So with the Four of Wands here, like I think this person talked about you as someone who were kind of perfect, actually, like marriage material, someone they wanted to start a family with, but also just someone that liked to celebrate life. So maybe that's also like what death reversed is all about. Like maybe they're just referring to you being very alive and radiant, that you like to get the most out of life, that you that you live like there's no tomorrow, like YOLO and all that. But like I also feel like this person just sees you as the type who likes to celebrate every occasion, like even the smallest occasion is like an occasion that needs celebrating. Like if someone has gotten like a small promotion, you want to celebrate that. And so like I think you are just very cheerful, someone who has a very positive outlook on life, and if you think that is like the farthest from the truth, then remember that is what they are telling their friends about you. And so that is how they see you and how they describe you, and your how they describe you to your friend, to their friends. And this person just talks very highly of you. I think with the Seven of Pentacles here, I think this person talked about how they were putting you in a bit of an unfair position because they weren't making a decision, because they were so conflicted. Maybe they had told you that they were in love with you, but they weren't really ready to leave their partner yet. And so maybe they felt like they were putting you in this waiting position, and that they were putting your life on pause. And maybe that is also what this person was talking about with the Death card reversed. Maybe they were hoping that you would just move on and find someone else, because then they didn't have to choose between you and their partner, because then the decision would just be made for them. But I also see that with a, like, I also see that, like, with the Seven of Pentacles, I think it's about someone looking at their crops and not knowing if they are completely ripe, and so they wait and to see if maybe the crops will grow even more. But while waiting for that to happen, they are in risk of all the crops rotting and thereby losing all profit. And so I think this person was in that dilemma. They felt like, because it's all about how much you're willing to gamble. It's a bit like selling and buying stocks. If you play it safe and sell your stocks prematurely, you will regret it later. But if you wait for too long, you are in risk of losing everything. So it is really like all about knowing when to settle. And so I don't think this person is a gambler. I think that they felt like it was too much of a gamble to end their relationship to pursue you, because even though they saw you as their soulmate, they had no guarantees that it would work out. So they chose to play it safe because they were afraid that they would end up losing both of you. But let's draw some more cards about how your friends, how this person tells her friends about you now. So the Empress, the Emperor, the Wheel of Fortune. Sorry, I can't really. Knight of Pentacles, Three of Wands reversed, Knight of Cups reversed, Ten of Cups reversed as well. Sorry, I'll just put these a bit to the side so there's more space. And the Lovers also reversed. Okay, so with the Emperor here, it makes sense with the King card. So again, this person might still talk about you as being a bit bossy, but I also think that this person might, well, with the Wheel of Fortune, I feel like this person hasn't really like given up on all luck, or like they still have some hope. They haven't given up on all hope yet. They still have some hope here, but it could also be that you are a fortune teller. So maybe they see you as a fortune teller, talk about you as a fortune teller. Maybe you can read poems or tarot cards. Maybe you've read for this person in the past, and maybe you were spot on, but also I see that this person still occasionally talks about you as like an option. And with the Knight of Pentacles, so that is a very loyal person. So I think they are loyal to their partner if they are still in a relationship. But this card is also a bit like Seven of Pentacles. So I think this person still talks about how they were too indecisive, that they waited too long, and maybe they also felt like they blew their shot with you because they waited for so long. So for some of you, like, you actually started dating someone else, and maybe that other person that you have started dating is the Knight of Pentacles, so maybe a Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. And so this person knows that they've missed out on like that opportunity with you because you've started up something with someone else, and so they might regret it now that they didn't make that decision in the past before you actually started a relationship with someone else. And that and they are hard on themselves for playing it safe. But I also feel like with the Three of Wands reversed, that after you started dating someone else, that then this person just completely distanced themselves from you. They might even have moved away and like moved away with a partner, and they felt like the fantasy, like with the three cards here, like the fantasy that they had in their head with them offering you love with the Knight of Pentacles and with the Ten of Cups, like this amazing relationship, and the Lovers here, all that's a fantasy, but it's all reversed. And so I think this person just might have very recently lost all hope. They might have had it very recently with the Wheel of Fortune, but I think now they really know that this will never really turn into anything, because maybe you are in a relationship with someone else, but it could also be that they assume that you are in a relationship with someone else. Maybe they've seen some pictures of you with someone else, or they've heard it could also just be that like this person just like, it could also be something about Corona, that Corona has kept you from meeting with this person, and so maybe it just didn't really happen as this person had hoped it would. But like, so I think I think they feel regret for like missing an opportunity for true love with you, but like, and they know in a way that they made the wrong choice, the wrong decision, and they talk to their friends about it, but they chose to play it safe, and I think they are committed to that choice. But on a positive note, like I heard the phrase, "I hate to see you go, but I love to watch you leave," or how that goes. But like, and so I think this person might tell their friends that about you, like that you have a good backside, that you have a good ass. But I also think that there is another meaning to it also, like a deeper meaning, like even though they just said it as a sleazy thing to their friends, but like I think on a deeper level this person meant that even though it didn't work out between you two, they don't regret the time that you spent with each other. Like I don't think you should be in any doubt that this person talks very highly of you to their friends. So yeah, that is what I see for you, group number 2. I hope you enjoyed this reading, and if you did, please subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you in my next reading. Bye. Hello group number 3. You chose this Numite. So first let's draw some archetype cards to find out how this person is describing you to their friends. And so the mentor card and a blank card and another blank card. Okay, so, well, I think this person sees you as, well, someone who's very smart and wise. This person might be someone you study with. They might be in your study group or just a classmate, and so maybe you've helped this person with their homework or something like that. So that might be why they talk about you as being kind of a mentor, maybe for them. So I think with the 2 blank cards, I'm sorry to say that, but like this is a bit of an indication that this person might not talk about you at all. Or maybe they just don't know how to describe you, because they might not know you that much. So I'll draw some tarot cards just to really get more of a sense of what this person is telling their friends about you, and what they told their friends about you in the past. So Strength, 5 of Cups, Queen of Swords reversed, 4 of Cups, the Emperor, 9 of Cups, 7 of Cups, 7 of Staffs, 2 of Pentacles, and Justice. So a lot of cards here. I'll just put these to the side so that you can see the cards So this is both the past and the present. I just realized. So the divide is probably, I'll get to that later. So, okay, what this person sees, how this person sees you is, or saw you in the past, is with strength card here. And so I think this person saw you as like someone who, well, someone very strong, but like they acknowledged you to be like this very as like this very strong person. And well, if they see you as a mentor, then that does indicate that you might have helped this person with some assignment or homework. And well, in order to be able to do that, like in order to help others, you have to be quite strong yourself. Like, I think you are the person people come to for help because they know you're not struggling with the homework yourself. And so they see you as very strong when it comes to your homework. Like, you have everything under control, and so you can actually help others because you're not in need of any help yourself. And so I think it's referring to the fact that you are someone who can handle any obstacle that comes your way. That you are not the type who gives up easily. And with 5 of Cups here, like, they might have talked about you being the glass half empty person, the person who sees so the person who sees the glass half full instead of half empty, I think. And that might seem a bit contradictory to the strength card, but it really isn't, because you can be a pessimist and still, well, you are the half empty. Sorry, like I'm rambling. You are the type who sees the glass half empty instead of half full, and so you are a bit of a pessimist, and this person sees you as a bit of a pessimist, but you are still like, you're not still the type who doesn't shy away from a challenge. It's a very powerful combination, really, being a pessimist who doesn't give up, because the pessimistic side of you makes you view the challenges realistically and helps you spot all the things that can go wrong, but you don't you don't get discouraged by it because of this strength here. Like, you just count those flaws and obstacles into the equation as things that will need extra time and effort. And I also think that it's because of the strength. Like, the strength is actually a very beautiful card because it's about self-worth. And so I think the reason why you don't give up easily is because you have this belief that you can do anything that you set your mind to, that no challenge is too big to handle, for you to handle, but that you are realistic about it. You know that it needs time and effort, and you never let that discourage you. Sometimes it even motivates you even more, because, like, I think you like the challenge. You like it when things are not straightforward and easy. You are a problem solver, and being a problem solver is a job for the pessimist. because only the pessimist can spot all the problems that need solving. And so I think this person talks about how you should maybe be a teacher. Like if you've helped this person with an assignment, I think they really appreciated your feedback and that you were honest about it. Well, maybe they felt like you were a bit too honest about it, but like I think they overall they liked the feedback. They saw that like you actually just wanted them to succeed, and so it was a bit of tough love, and they realized that. And I think you really want people to succeed. Like, I don't think you are competitive, actually. I don't think you mind if someone gets a good grade and you know it was only because of your help, because that just makes you happy on their behalf, like truly happy. Like if you were competitive, then you wouldn't have helped this person, for example. Or like if it's not about an assignment or some kind of like school project, I just think you did something for this person, you helped them in some way, maybe you helped broaden their horizons about something, where if you were competitive you would have just kept all your wisdom for yourself. But like there is also something here with the Four of Cups. Like I think this person talks about you as a bit cold and a bit standoffish. Like I think this person might have a bit of have felt a bit rejected by you in the past. Maybe you did reject them in the past, but it could also just be that this person felt like you were ignoring them a bit in school. If you were in the same school as this person, like maybe you are the type who likes to be left alone. Like I think you focus better if you sit alone, for example. And so maybe this person felt like you were a bit closed off, that you were not easy to get close to, and that might have been because you were so focused and determined on your studies. Like I see that you would gladly help others. Like if someone came over to you and wanted help with something, then you were open. Like, but maybe you weren't participating in any school events or parties, and maybe you used like the breaks in school to read and study instead of actually socializing with the others. And so I think this person might have felt like it was very hard to get to know you. But so that's the divide here. So this is where the present starts with the Emperor card here. So like I think this person talks about you now as someone who is like maybe you're an Aries, but like this person might talk about you as being a bit serious and a bit cold, like all business, no fun. And well, maybe you have some authority, like maybe you are this person's mentor or teacher, or maybe even their boss, and so maybe you feel like you can't really like let loose around this person. But also I feel like this person might see you as a bit of a superior in a way, and so that might also create a strange dynamic. But like also with the Nine of Cups here, like I think this person sees you as someone who is independent. So like in Rider-Waite, the picture is of someone sitting alone, very content, surrounded by all these trophies. And so I think this person sees you as someone who has a lot of trophies, like you have a lot of achievements. If you are in school, you have gotten straight A's and a lot of praise, but I think this person doesn't envy you because they see that you are all alone. You have chosen to focus on your studies and your career, and you have sacrificed your social life in the process. And so I think this person sees you as a bit poor because you have all these achievements, but you have no one to celebrate them with. And so it's lonely on the top. Like, people might look up to you. I think people in your school sees you as this very smart person with a bright future ahead of you. So people think highly of you, but in this person's eyes, that is not really worth much because you are not forming any meaningful and deep relationships with people. And so, well, maybe they are a bit jealous that, like, or maybe they feel like they have been rejected by you, and they may feel like they don't, and like with these blank cards here, like they don't truly know you, and they really want to know you, but like you don't really let people in, and so they don't have a lot to tell their friends. But it's mostly because you have not really engaged in social activities with this person enough for this person to actually know who you are. And so I think that's like a factor in this. But like, I just think that this person, if they know you a bit, like I think this person sees you as someone who needs to let loose. At some point you will have burned the candle in both ends when you only focus on your studies and career. And so with the 7 of Cups here and the 7 of Staffs here, well, the 7 is the number for keeping to yourself and being alone. And well, it's more than that. It's also about seeking enlightenment, and that enlightenment is best sought alone. And so that correlates quite fine with what I said before. So I think with the 7 of Cups, well, it is a bit about having lofty dreams. But if you look at this picture here, like if you see here, there is a castle on the top here, and like the road to this castle is covered in fog and clouds. Like you can't see it. You can't see the road. And well, maybe this person is saying that you have your head too focused on the end goal. Like you are too focused on the end goal. You don't really see the journey towards your goal. You are so focused on your goal that you don't appreciate this journey, that you are not enjoying this journey. And so I think this person is referring to the studies, like the years that you study until you get that goal, that you're missing out on, like on this social life that you could be forming with your fellow students and all this. Like, because like if you're in school, like university, and you are studying to become a doctor or lawyer or something like that, that is the only thing you're focused on. And so you are ignoring all the experiences that you could have while studying, all the friendships you could form. And I also think this person talks about how you might actually regret that later on in life, because you might not realize the value in people. And well, networking is actually important in almost any field. And so you forget to see how the people around you actually could help you achieve your goals. But I think this person feels like you don't see people like assets. and so people as assets, like, and so that might make them talk about you as a bit arrogant, that when you feel like no one can help you with anything, that is in a way saying that you are on the top. And especially if you are a mentor type who gladly helps others, then that gives out the signal that you can help others, but others can't help you. And that is in a way saying that you are above everyone else, that you can elevate others up to your level, but if others help you, then they will drag you down. And so maybe this person has said this about you because they felt hurt that you rejected them or didn't see them as an asset. And so with the Seven of Staffs here, I think this person feels like you are pushing people away, that you are, I think this, because you feel like they are getting in the way of your success. And with the Two of Pentacles reversed, I think this is also about burning the candle in both ends. Like, I feel like this person talks about how you will burn yourself out by being such an overachiever. And with the Justice card here, like, I think this person, like, maybe they see you as like someone who's very law abiding, that you play by the rules, that you always follow procedure. And maybe they also feel like maybe you should take more chances, even academically, that you might play it too safe, that you always do as you are asked and don't take any chances. And so you are not like the type who dares to think outside the box when it comes to your studies, because you just can't risk it, because you are so determined to achieve your goals and get straight A's. You could also be a Libra, but like, I just think this person sees you as someone who is a bit too practical, someone who will follow the rules all the time, someone who always hands in their assignments on time, someone who is like a perfect student, someone who starts writing your assignments in advance, someone who uses the breaks to study instead of engaging in like fun conversations with the other classmates, someone who uses the weekends to study instead of partying, someone who is just very well the perfect student. And well, maybe this person is a bit jealous because they don't seem to have the same level of determination that you have, and like they lack the backbone that you have to see things through. And so that might be what this person is talking to their friends about. So that's what I see here for you, group number 3. I hope you enjoyed this reading, and if you did, please subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you in my next reading. So bye. Hello group number 4. You chose this hematite bracelet, and so I will start with a channel message, channeled information, and then I will proceed to the cards. So okay, first of all, I think this person is defending you, actually. So you might have a shared friend who is bad-mouthing you, someone who's spreading rumors and lies about you, and I'm very sorry about that, but like, I think this person sees right through them, the person who's talking shit about you. And so for some of you, I think this person who's talking shit about you behind your back might actually be someone you are very good friends with. This might actually be your best friend, but I think this person sees right through them, and this person also calls them out on their bullshit. So take it as a warning that there might be someone in your friend group who you really can't trust. So I think this person here that you're asking about, I think this person really likes you. They see you as someone who's very kind and, well, maybe a bit naive, since you might trust the wrong people. But I think this person sees you as someone who see the good in people. Someone who sees the good in people, someone who gives people the benefit of the doubt. I also think you talk to everyone in the same way, like you talk to a homeless person with the same respect as you would your teacher, for example. I think this person really admires how you don't discriminate against anyone, and that you are very tolerant and open-minded. And I think you see everyone you meet as someone you can learn something from. You don't look down on anyone. You see the value in everyone. But let's draw some archetype cards here. So mediator. Sorry, it's not reversed. Healer. Vampire reversed. Networker. I'll just put these to the side so that I have more room. Judge. Child magical. A blank card. Yeah, another blank card, but it's so what I see here is that I think this person sees you as like the embodiment of light with the healer card here. I think this person sees you as a light worker. I think this person talks about you as someone who's too good for this world. I think this person sees you as a child of light, and a child of light can't see the darkness because their light shines so bright that all darkness disappear in their present. So a child of light can't see the darkness within others. They can't see the toxicity, the drama, the jealousy, the manipulation, because they only see the good in people. And so with the vampire reversed here, I think this person sees you as someone who is an easy target for energy vampires or psychic vampires, that people can easily manipulate you because you are so pure. And with a mediator card, like, so the mediator is someone who binds people together, someone who can make people see past the differences and find common ground. You are good at making people see that they have a lot in common with other people, like what people have in common with each other, like what they agree on. You're good at making people see eye to eye, and realize that all the differences that were separating them actually only existed in their minds. Like, you are the type who can listen passively to an argument between two people, and then at the end you can summarize the argument and point out all the things that the two people agreed on, and you can sort out any misunderstandings that happened along the way. You just have a gift of making people understand each other. You are a born diplomat, someone who can look past the differences, and I think you are good at finding what you have in common with people. Like, that is why you can talk to all kinds of people. That's because you know that we are much more similar than we think we are, and so you know that you have something in common with all the people you meet, and that's because you recognize yourself in all people you meet. You are able to see yourself in them, and I think that is because you are very much in alignment with your true self. You know why you are the way you are. You know who you are. You know, and you've probably had, like, maybe a spiritual awakening that really made you realize a lot of things about yourself, and so I think you are able to see what you have in common with people. You are able to see what connects you to other people, and you are able to recognize the similarities instead of the differences. And even though I think you were born with this gift, I think you might have had like a period of in your life where you maybe saw yourself as different from everyone else. This might have been your emo period or goth period, like as a teenager, where you were focused on being separated from or distancing yourself from others instead of uniting with others. But I think you have really found yourself again after that, and found yourself in the union with other people again, found that you are one with everyone, that you don't have to distance yourself from others. You don't have to stand out from the crowd, because you know that the crowd is you, and that is what makes you such a good networker. I also think you are naturally curious about everyone you meet. I think you can easily make people open up. Like, I also just think you have something in common with everyone. You never look at a person and think that you wouldn't be able to talk to that person, because you don't have anything, like, you don't have that thought that you might not have something in common with someone. Like, you always assume that you have something in common with everyone, and even if you don't, you can always ask people about themselves and just listen to them talk about the things that that they are interested in, and because you are also just interested in everything and everyone, you have a natural curiosity. Like, I think you are the type who is just curious about everything, and I think you are the type who knows a lot, who knows a little bit about everything, so that you can talk to everyone about everything, so that you can network. Like, if you meet a person who's studying law, then it's an advantage if you just know a little bit about law, just to get the ball rolling, because you don't need to know much. You just need to know enough to get the conversation started, and then the other person does the rest. But really, people don't open up unless you know, unless you show them a green light, unless you show them that you know a little bit about something. And so I think well, it might be something you do consciously or subconsciously, but I think you are the type who just loves to read articles about random things all the time. Like you might stumble upon an article about ants or carpentry or fishing, and for some reason you feel the urge to read that article, and sometimes you might not even know why you're interested or fascinated by the stuff you're fascinated by. And like you don't know what attracts you to these articles, but I actually think you are divinely guided to read these articles because the spirit knows that they might become an interesting conversation piece one day, that it will be something that you can use to connect with someone in the future. And this is like your spiritual gift, really. Like it's so like you might have realized this yourself, that it seems almost scary how you read an article one day about fishing, and then a few weeks later you meet a fisherman and you start talking about the article, and then the person tells you that they've read the same article, and then you just bond over that article. And so I think your sole purpose really is to connect with people, to network with people. You are supposed to connect with different people as well, all types of people, because it is your purpose to break down the barriers between people and make people realize that we all have something in common, that we all are connected. And with the Judge card here, you might be a Libra, you might also be studying law, but like I also think this person talks about you being extremely fair, that you fight for what's right, that you don't allow people to be mistreated and discriminated, and that is also a part of your sole purpose. As I said before, like you are supposed to look past the differences and unite people, and that means that you have to fight for people who are being mistreated, being treated differently because of their race, culture, social status, gender, sexuality. Like you need to break those barriers between people and make people realize that we are all the same. And I also think this person talks about you as well being this healer, and that you have this gift of healing people. Like you might also have an energy that makes people feel very comfortable around you. Like you might not be extremely outgoing, but you might not be the type who walks into a room and instantly attracts attention to yourself. Like I think you have a very subtle charm. You are charismatic, people like you, but you might not talk very much, but you have this calming presence that makes people feel comfortable around you. Like I think you ground people in a way, you make people around you feel calm, and that is also because you are a child of light. Like you walk into a room, and before you walked into the room there was like a heavy vibe and tension, and people were fighting and arguing, and then when you walk into the room the vibe just changes instantly, and people might not know why that is, and you might not know that either, but like your energy is just so grounding, like, and makes people feel calm and relaxed. There is something very relaxing about your energy. And I also think it is because you are so tolerant. People feel like you see them for who they are. They don't have to fight to prove their worth around you. They know that you accept, that they are accepted around you. And I also think people feel like you see them for who they are. You see their soul. I also think this person talks about your eyes. I think this person really likes your eyes. So for some of you, I actually think this person has told their friends about your eyes, and maybe like when they look into your eyes, I actually think they have told people, maybe their mother, that when they look into your eyes, they believe in God. And that is like a bit cheesy, but it's also very beautiful. Like I think your eyes are very pure, and they might also be like, well, eyes are the window to the soul, and I just think this person sees that there is something almost divine about you. You might also have like very, very light blue eyes, but I also think you just see people. You are very present in your eyes, and people can see that in your eyes, that when you listen to people talk to you, you keep eye contact, you don't look down or away, you focus on the person speaking, and you make sure that that person feels heard and seen. You might also have a bit of an intense look at times, but I think this person just, I think this person just feels like they know that you're interested in what they are saying, but because like you look interested. You might also be the type who can spot people from across the room. I just feel like people notice that you see them, that you notice them, even across the room, and like no one passes your eye. Like some people might feel like they blend in with the furniture, that they are invisible, but when they are around you, they don't feel that way, because you notice the people that others don't notice. And so this person might feel like the type who blends into the furniture, the type who no one notices, but they feel like you notice them. So that is very amazing. But let's draw some tarot cards to really get a sense of what this person is telling their friends about you. So 3 of Swords, 2 of Swords, King of Wands, Ace of Swords, 6 of Wands, 8 of Swords. Yeah, so I think so with the with the 3 of Swords here, I think there might be a love triangle. So you might have a partner right now, or they might have a partner right now. But I actually think it might be you who has a partner, a boyfriend or a girlfriend. So this person this person feels a bit sad about that. The person might be on night a King of Wands, so like a Leo, Sagittarius or Aries. And so I have tied the King of Wands card in this deck to a fable in La Fontaine called The Two Cocks, and it's about 2 cocks who were fighting for a hen, and the winner of the fight would get the hen. So the cock who won got the hen, but he was too cocky and started chanting the victory from the rooftop, and then a vulture came and killed him, and so the cock who lost the fight originally ended up getting the hen, even though he lost the fight, because the winner was eliminated because he was killed by a vulture, and so he became the real winner. And so and the other cock was, of course, killed by his own cockiness. And well, so maybe your boyfriend or girlfriend is actually a bit toxic, or maybe this person sees them as a bit toxic, and so or girlfriend who's actually the toxic person that this person wants to warn you about. And this person might feel like they don't deserve you, that they don't handle you, that this person you are involved with, this other person, that they don't handle you with the respect, and that they might talk about you behind your back in the sense that they've won you, like you are like some kind of object, and your boyfriend or girlfriend might brag about you, but not in the good way. And I think this person sees it as a bit degrading, that they don't realize that what a catch you are. Maybe this person sees how your boyfriend and girlfriend talks about your body and hears about that, and how they talk about your body a lot. And so I think this person just sees your boyfriend or girlfriend, if you have one, as a bit shallow and superficial, and that they don't deserve you, because in their eyes you are this virgin type, this embodiment of purity, this healer type, this light, this child of light, and they don't want people to talk about you as an object because they feel like it's beneath you. And I also think this person is afraid that this boyfriend or girlfriend might take advantage of you. Maybe if you don't have a boyfriend or girlfriend, maybe this is someone they assume that you are in a relationship with. Maybe they've seen pictures on social media with you two together, and so maybe they have the wrong idea. Maybe you are single, but like they think you are in a relationship. But like I think this person is just waiting for you to get rid of this boyfriend or girlfriend, if you have one, and then I think this person is hoping that you will consider them as an option. I think this person is pretty sure that sooner or later this boyfriend or girlfriend or crush of yours will make a mistake that will turn you away from them, and I think this person just feels like it's a matter of time. So with the Two of Swords here, I think so. I've also assigned a fable to this card, and the card I've assigned is and the fable I've assigned this card is about a man who loses his axe, and he asks Mercury to help him find the axe, and instead Mercury gives him a new axe made out of gold. And then all the villagers hear about this miracle, and they all throw away their axes and ask Mercury for a golden axe, but Mercury doesn't give them any axes at all because they were being too greedy. The first person was handed a golden axe because they were not being greedy. They actually just wished to get their old axe back. And so I think this person might talk about how you don't ask for much, that you are very humble and very thankful. And well, on a more negative note, this person might see you as someone who settles for less than you deserve. Like, I know the moral of the story is to not wish for more than you need, that you shouldn't get too greedy, but I think this person feels like you ask for too little. And also the word axe sounds a bit like the word X, and so maybe this person also feels like you are crying over an ex-boyfriend or an ex-girlfriend. Maybe that was a person they were talking about before. Maybe you are actually not involved with them anymore, like, but you still cry over this ex of yours, and so maybe this person just feels like you shouldn't cry over that ex because they weren't that great to begin with, that you deserve a lot better and you deserve a golden ex. And I think this person might see themselves as that golden ex, that they want to replace the old ex. So with the with the Six of Wands, like, I think this person just really looks up to you. They put you up on a pedestal. They see you as someone who is above all others. But I also, like, if you look at the picture, I think this is referring to what I was talking about before. Like, this person is throwing wands at these monsters' mouths to tame them. And I think you have this ability to tame people. People are on their best behavior when you are around, and you make people stop fighting each other. You get in the middle of a fight and you just tell people to stop fighting, and then they stop fighting. And with this with the Ace of Swords here, I think this person might talk about how you are very smart, but that you might get in your own way because you always seem to do things the hard way instead of just taking the easy way out. I think this person admires that about you, but they also feel like you are wasting a lot of time trying to always do things the right way without taking any shortcuts. And that might be in regards to your career and your studies, and but also with the Eight of Swords here, I think this person might be talking about you being a bit too skinny, actually, with the skeleton here. So maybe you've recently lost a lot of weight, so they might talk about that. And I actually think they might talk about that in a very concerned way. I don't think this person is the type who would glorify weight loss. I think this person is just wondering if there is something wrong, if you're not feeling well. And with the Eight of Swords, I also think that it's referring to you, to the blindfold that you might have in certain situations. And I also think this person talks about how you are extremely beautiful, but you seem to have no clue how beautiful you are. So that is what I see for you. Group number 4, I hope you enjoyed this reading, and if you did, please subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you in my next reading. So bye. Hello, group number 5. You chose this aquamarine. So straight away, this person, I feel like this person is actually in love with you, and so they want you. They want you to be theirs. And for some of you, I also heard that they want you back. So maybe this person is your ex or someone from the past, but there is no doubt in my mind that this person is telling their friends that they are in love with you. It's pretty cute, actually, unless this is someone you don't want to be in love with you, that you don't want them to be in love with you. So if it's an ex you don't want back, or maybe someone you friend zoned and you actually don't want them to ask you out because you don't want it to be weird between you two. And so if that's the case, I hate to break it to you, but this person is in love with you. But well, let's draw some archetype cards to really get a sense of what this person might be saying about you to their friends. And so a blank card here, another blank card, So they're not saying much, but like, okay, so the martyr, student, seeker, and priest reversed. Okay, so with the 2 blank cards, they might be a bit secretive about you, so it's not necessarily a bad thing. So it could also just be a sign that they don't want to talk too much about you to their friends, because maybe they are not sure if you have feelings for them, and so they don't want to look like a fool in front of their friends, and so they might also feel like if the word would get out that they have feelings for you, that it might ruin their chances with you, or maybe they are afraid that, well, that you don't share the same feelings, and so they don't want to tell people too much. So they might just tell people that you, with a student card here, that you are a student, and that you are a good student, and that you are very smart and intelligent and wise, and you might be, maybe this person is your teacher, so you might be this person's student, or you might be this person's, maybe this person is your mentor, so you, or something like that. And so there might be some policy that makes it impossible for you to date. Maybe you work together, like there might be something that makes this union a bit hush-hush, and so this person can't just blurt it out to anyone. So, okay, there are some strange cards here that I don't seem to understand with, well, with the student and the seeker here. Like, this person talks very highly of you, that you are a good student, but with the martyr here, I think this person sees you, well, maybe it's about you sacrificing yourself for others or for a cause, that you might be very noble. I think that you are very passionate about what you do, and that you have a purpose in life that involves serving others, and that you are very selfless. Also that you seem like the type who are willing to put your life on the line in order to save others. So you might be a nurse, actually, and so you might be putting your life on the line, and risking getting corona, for example. And so maybe that's the thing. Maybe you're a nurse, and so, but with the priest card here reversed, I'm sure that, I'm not sure I really get it, but like the shadow attributes that I guess is like highlighted because it's in reverse, is violates the trust of your spiritual community, seduced by your own spiritual role. So I don't really get what that means. Like, maybe you have changed your faith or your religion. Like, maybe you used to have the same religion as this person, but you turned your back on that religion, and this person might see that as a shame. Maybe that is also why this person doesn't feel like they can tell their friends about you. Maybe they feel like a union between you two would never work because you don't share the same religion. So, but let's draw some tarot cards just to really get a sense of what this person tells their friends about you. So, the High Priestess, Four of Cups, Five of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles, 9 of Wands, Eight of Cups reversed, I think. Yeah. So I think with the High Priestess here, it's quite obvious that this person might be talking about your spirituality. Maybe you are a psychic, and so maybe that's what is going against their religion in some way. Maybe they have a very strict religion, and so it just doesn't really fit in to their religion, how you practice your spirituality and your faith. And so maybe you believe in something that this person doesn't believe in. And so with the Four of Cups here, I think this person sees you as someone who will very likely reject them if they made a move on you. So that's also a factor. Like, maybe you have rejected them in the past, but with the Five of Pentacles in Rider-Waite, it is two people walking outside in the cold, out in front of a church, and well, they are outside the church and not on the inside, so they might talk about you being an outsider and it may have to do with like your religion, that you've abandoned your church or religion in some way. But I also just think they see you as a bit of an outsider in general. Maybe if you go to the same school, they might see you walk alone a lot. They see you as someone who is not a part of a group. So like, this is someone, if this is someone you work with or go to school with, they might have noticed that you don't hang out with your classmates or colleagues, that you keep to yourself, but they don't. Then again, with the Three of Pentacles, that is like a whole other story. This is someone who actually works with others. So, well, maybe you do work well with others when you have to. Like, maybe you are good at group assignments and teamwork and stuff like that, but maybe you only like to talk to people when it has to do with work or school. You might not like to engage in small talk. And well, I think this person does look up to you in a way with the Three of Pentacles. They see you as incredibly smart. They put you up on a pedestal, but like with the Nine of Wands here, like, I feel like you might be the type who only talks to people if people talk to you. You are not the type who walks up to someone and just starts talking. You might seem a bit closed off and shy, but I actually don't think you are that, because I see that if people come up to you and ask you a question or something like that, then you are very outgoing and talkative, but it's like you seem to lack initiative to actually walk up to people and start a conversation. Maybe you have some social anxiety, but it's deeper than that, because I really don't think you have a problem talking to people, but you have a very thick barrier when you need to start a conversation with someone, when you have to approach someone. Like, you are fine if people approach you, but like, you have very much anxiety when you have to approach others. I think maybe it's a childhood trauma. Like, you might have walked up to a group of people in your in your high school years or middle school years or whatever, and you might have said hi to them, and then they completely rejected you and talked and told you that you didn't belong and that you should just beat it. And this rejection might still affect you to this day. You still have a fear that if you approach someone, they might ridicule you. And I think this person has noticed that about you, that anxiety, and they might have that too, actually. And so, like, if this is a fling you have, you are like asking about if you have a fling with this person and nothing has happened yet, then I think that's the reason. Like, that's the answer. I think you both have this crippling fear of starting a conversation with people, and so you don't start conversations with each other because you have this fear. And so you are very fearful of rejection, both of you. And so with the 8 of Cups here reversed, I think it might make sense, because in Rider-Waite it is someone walking away from a bunch of cups because they want to find clarity on the top of a mountain. And so when it is reversed as it is here, like, I think this person might be talking to their friends about how they want to approach you. Like, if you've had a period without any contact, I think this person feels like they've gained a lot of clarity in the time you've been apart. If this person looked down on you in the past for being too witchy or too spiritual or psychic, then I think this person might actually have used this time apart from you to actually look it up, research the things you were talking about, and they might actually have realized that it's not that bad. And so maybe they have more respect for you now that they've gained clarity themselves, and maybe they've even had a spiritual awakening themselves, and they might give you the credit for it, actually, because they feel like it was you who showed them that you introduced them to this world, that it was you who started their spiritual journey, and that you were the inspiration, the muse. And so I think they really look up to you now. They might have judged you a bit in the past for not staying in the conventional religion, but now they finally get you. They know that what you are all about, and they might also know now that you are their soulmate, and that you've been their soulmate all along. And so I think they are waiting to have another shot with you. They are returning back to the cards, and they are hoping that the cards are still there when they come back. And so I think this is referring to maybe Corona and quarantine and isolation and all of this. And so I think this person is hoping that when they come back, that they will have a shot with you, that everything will be exactly the same as how they left things with you in the past. Like, if you were flirting before Corona came, I think this person hopes that you can pick up where you left off, and also that they can pick up the pace. So, like, that they can come in again and rush it along a bit. Maybe they felt like in the past that they took their bloody time, that it took them too long to realize how amazing you were, and they were just too slow moving. And I think this person might be planning about moving forward, and when they return, like, when you two meet again. But like, I still don't think this person
has fully gotten past their anxiety, I don't think this person will be contacting you over text or social media or anything like that. They are hoping that you will just bump into each other at school or work or at a party, and that they will be able to ask you out at that point. But they will not ask you out if they have any doubts about you. So, like, I think this person like they won't text you first. They have to walk up to you and say hi, because they are. And even if they have to do that, it's not likely that they will do that. Like they have, it has to be very natural for them. Like they want to bump into you where you don't know that they have this agenda. Like they want it to seem like very, very accidental that if you meet. Like, and I think with the Three of Pentacles, I think that is also something they need. I think they need, like, not a third person, but like they need a third thing in this union to bond over. Like, for example, they can't just go out on a date with you. They need to go on to an event with you, like a lecture with you or something, or a movie with you or something like that, where they can talk to you about that thing that you both were that you both were looking at throughout the lecture or whatever. Like they need that they need to have something to talk to you about, and that might also be you who planted this in their head, like that you because you might have talked to them about you not being so keen on small talk, that you want to have something to talk about, and so this person might not feel very comfortable just talking about you, having small talk with you, because you've said that is not something you like. And so I think this person feels like they have to have a question about something. They have to have something prepared to talk about when they talk with you. And so I think so this person feels like they actually have to talk about something school related in order to approach you, that you are the type who is strictly business and no fun. And so with the lectures, like if you are in the university and your university arranges lectures that are not mandatory, then I think you might have signed yourself up to many of these lectures, and you might have noticed that this person signed themselves up to the exact same lectures right after you signed yourself up to them, and you might have had a suspicion that this person was only doing it to get closer to you. And if you had that suspicion, I can tell you that your suspicion was correct. This person was definitely not at all interested in all the lectures they signed themselves up for. Like they might even have snoozed throughout most of these lectures. And if that's not true love, I don't really know what is. Like for some of you might have signed up for lectures about something like the ancient civilization's view on menstruation or something like that, and you might have been very surprised that this person signed up for it. as that might have been, well, when you had the suspicion, like, and you might have talked to them afterwards and asked them what it was about the lecture that drew them in, and they might not have been able to give you a good answer. And so I really think, well, it's kind of cute. Like, so with a priest card here reversed, like, so maybe you studied like theology or religious studies or ancient civilization archaeology or something, maybe also to, well, something about that. And so, and you might have dropped out of that, and it might be the only reason why. Well, maybe you didn't drop out, but maybe this person assumes that you dropped out, and they think it's a shame that you did. So I will go with my gut feeling here and say that this person really is in love with you. But I think this person is struggling to figure out if you like them or not. I think this person is looking for signs that you like them, but you might not be very good at giving them signs. But I don't think this person will make a move unless they are 100% sure that you like them, because they are very afraid of rejection, and that is also why they don't tell their friends about you. They are afraid that you don't share the same feelings, and so they don't want to look like a fool. So if you have feelings for this person, I think you should try to be less subtle and show more signs that you are actually interested. And well, if this is someone you friend-zoned, or someone or an ex of yours who you really don't want to be in a relationship with at all, and you're hoping that they won't make a move on you, then you are in the clear, because they won't make a move on you if they are not 100% sure that you are interested. And so that is what I see for you, group number 5. I hope you enjoyed this reading, and if you did, please subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you in my next reading. So bye. Hello, group number 6. You chose this onyx, I think. Onyx bracelet. So first of all, I'll start with a channeled message, and then I will proceed to the reading. And first of all, I heard like the phrase, I came, I saw, I conquered. So if you go to the same school or work, the same place as this person, then someone might have come up to them and asked them about you, and this person you are asking about might have said that they've had sex with you, and they might have bragged about it, and not in a great way. Like, it's a bit of a toxic energy, and a condescending energy. Like, this person might brag about the fact that you've had sex with them, like, and it might have been a long time ago, and they might brag about them conquering you, and like, I don't like that. They talk about you like an achievement, like climbing Mount Everest. Like, I get toxic ex vibes. So maybe this is an ex-boyfriend or an ex-girlfriend. So that maybe you're. I also heard Toso. I don't know what that is, but like TOSO. I don't know what that is, but maybe you know that. But I also heard the word custody. So maybe you actually have a child with this person, and you are fighting to get custody over the child. I don't know, but that might be something this person is talking to their friends about. So, okay, I also heard morning glaze, which is pretty disgusting. It's about jizzing in someone's face while they are sleeping, so that when they wake up, they have cum in their eyes. And so I don't get the best vibes from this person. So I don't know if this person did that to you, but like it's something this person is either bragging about, that they did that. Maybe they're lying about doing that to you, but they might also be talking about a sex fantasy that they have, that they would want to do that to you. But I'm not getting the best vibes. I think this person is quite sexist, and this person has like a very screwed up view on women, where they see women as like servants, only put on earth to provide them pleasure. And I think this person is screwed up after watching way too much porn. Like, if you've had sex with this person, you might have noticed that they are kind of unable to have normal sex, and well, maybe the sex wasn't actually successful at all if you had sex with this person, but like but they might have actually blamed that on you. Like, maybe this person couldn't get an erection, and they blamed that on you because you hadn't seen enough porn. That it would probably help if you learned to do some more kinky stuff, so that it could be more attractive to you, or that so that you could better live up to their fucked up expectations of what sex should be like. And so I think you were maybe even a bit grossed out over this person, but I think this person might actually be telling people that they were a bit of a stud in bed, and if you rejected this person, they might be telling people that they were just too wild for you. Like, they might be making up stories to kind of cover up the fact that they actually weren't able to perform at all. But for others of you who actually haven't had sex with this person in the past, I think they might just be telling people about these fantasies that they have, that what they want to do with you. And so I think that is a bit of a warning to kind of stay away from this person, because this person might be a bit of a sexual predator. I'm hating to say that, but like they are, like I think they are. So stay away, really. So this person might even like have this degrading fetishes, which is the reason why I think this person is sexist. Like, they might be turned on by degrading women, or well, I don't assume your gender, but or I do, but like I don't want to, but like, so by degrading others, like I even think this person might have a fetish. Like, I hate to say it, but like they might even like want to poop on you. It's really disgusting. Like, I don't know what porn sites this person has been on, but it's not the normal ones. It's very screwed up. And so, well, let's draw some archetype cards here. So, the Fool, Storyteller, Hedonist, Addict, and Monk, non-reversed. So with the Fool here, I actually think this is in a literal sense. Like, I think this person sees you as a bit of a fool, and that's again the sexist thing. I think you are like a court fool. Your job is to entertain them. You exist for their amusement, and I hate that. So that's it. But with a storyteller, like, it's supposed to be a very, very positive card, but I don't really get it. Like, I don't see it in a positive way, because, well, it could be a positive way, like that this person sees you as someone who can tell great stories. But now that I'm getting to know this person, I think this card's actually more to do with, like, this is about what they are telling their friends. And so with the storyteller, I think it's about how they are telling stories, are making up stories about you, that not necessarily, like, they tell stories about you that are not true to their friends to really make themselves seem better, or like more interesting, or something like that. They just like to make up stories. And so I also get that maybe this person sees you as someone who talks too much, or maybe talks about to their friends about how you talk too much, that you tell too many stories. Like, I think this person just tells their friends that you are like the typical woman who talks too much, who won't shut up for a minute. And this is kind of disgusting, but like, I get the sense that they've told their friends that the only way they can shut you up is by putting their dick in your mouth. And I am so sorry that you've even met this person. This person is so immature. So with the hedonist here, I guess this person might talk about you, how you eat or drink too much, but like, I think it's referring to food. Like, if you had a meal with this person, like dinner with this person, you might have gotten like a second serving. And like, I actually get that if you were at like a dinner party with your shared friends, then you might have walked into the kitchen to get a second serving, and this person might have made a comment about it while you were in the kitchen. And like, this is really disgusting, but like, maybe I heard greedy little piggy, which is like so weird. So they might actually have called you that, which is disgusting. So, but they might actually have like, they might have a fat fetish, or like some kind of fetish. Like, they might be turned on by ridiculing you about your weight in front of others, which I have heard about. It's disgusting. So, but like with the addict here, I don't know, maybe this person talks about you being a food addict, or even an alcoholic, if that's maybe like, but I think it's more to do with food, or maybe they even talk about you being addicted to them. And like, that really makes some sense, because this person is extremely delusional. And so maybe they talk about how you are lusting for sex with them, that you just can't get enough of their body. And I feel like, I feel bad for this person, because they are kind of cringy, and I think most people can actually see through them, see through the lies. People know that they aren't like the shit, that they are lying, but this person might have like a god complex, or like grandiosity. Like, they see themselves as much cooler and smarter and funnier and sexier than they actually are. I think that, like, if this person had sex with you, it was a very underwhelming experience, but this person is so delusional that they think they were amazing in bed. Like, it's a bit sad. I also see a scenario, and it's kind of funny, but like, you might have had sex with this person and it was like a minute or maybe even less than a minute, and like, you were not in any way close to coming yourself, and so you asked them if they could like finish you up, and that might actually be where the greediness about the second serving comes in, that you were greedy for wanting to go for another round, that you were some kind of nymphomaniac for even suggesting it, but really you weren't greedy at all, and you weren't asking for serving for a second serving because you never got the first one, if you get what I mean. But this person really is a selfish lover. They are not capable of thinking about anyone but themselves, and so if you ask them to do something selfless in bed, they will tell you that there is something wrong with you for demanding that, because you are their servant. You shouldn't demand anything. And so this is probably the type who wouldn't give oral sex because they don't see the point, because they won't get anything out of it themselves. Like, so with a monk and non-reversed, well, I don't think, if this person has like a slutty, maybe this person has a slutty non-fantasy as well. Like, wouldn't surprise me if they have that. Like, maybe they fantasize about you in a non-costume and coming on your face. I don't know, but like, maybe and so I want to like focus on the shadow attribute. So negative judgment of the physical world, excess piety. So maybe they feel like you were a bit dull, that you, because you didn't, like, that you were a bit judgmental because you didn't just get on board with all their crazy fantasies. And so that might be a thing, but like, let's draw some tarot cards to really get a sense of what this person is telling their friends. And so 10 of Pentacles, Page of Wands, Page of Swords, 3 of Cups, the Tower, Queen of Pentacles, the World reversed. Okay, so with the 10 of Pentacles, I think this person talks about you being like a family person, maybe a bit homesick. You might be a Cancer, and maybe you come from a wealthy family, but like, and with a page of Wands here, I think this person might actually talk about you as a bit of a party girl, and so also with the 3 of Cups reversed, which is, and also the addict here, like, and the hedonist. So maybe they actually see you as someone who might have an alcohol problem or something like that, but which is a bit strange to me, because before they were talking about you being a bit of a prude, but well, maybe they thought you were like this wild child in the beginning, the type who could easily outlive their strange fantasies with them, but then they might have been disappointed that you actually had your limit, that you had self-respect enough to not to reject this person when they came with these strange fantasies, and they might have been surprised that you weren't easily manipulated into doing fucked up stuff. And maybe this person was used to having partners who were easy to manipulate. So yeah, with a Page of Swords here, I think this is again about them maybe talking about you being a bit talkative, and I think this was annoying for this person because the only thing they wanted to do with you was to fuck you, and they didn't want to get to know you, because then if they got to know you, they weren't able to objectify you. So it was very important for them to keep you as an object, and so it was important to shut you up. So with the Tower here, I think if this if this is an X, I think it is an X. I think this person might be talking to their friends about the breakup that you had with this person together. And well, if you are actually in a relationship with this person, and I really hope you're not, but if you are, this person might be talking to their friends about maybe breaking up with you. And well, if that's the case, it's a blessing in disguise, because you don't want to be with this person. So with the Queen of Pentacles, you might be a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn, or there might actually be a Virgo or Taurus or Capricorn around this person if you're in a relationship with this person, who this person might actually be cheating with you on, cheating on with you on you. They might be cheating on you with a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. I think that might be likely, but I mostly think you are. Maybe they are just talking about you being very financially stable. Maybe you borrowed this person money in the past, so maybe they talk about that. But with the World here reversed, I think this person talks about you being too narrow-minded, and they might talk about you being inside this bubble that you need to get out in the world, in the real world. And like, as ironic as it sounds, this person actually believes that getting out in the real world means to watch more porn. That you seem like the person who has lived under a rock because you don't share the same fetishes as they do. And so I think this person is very disgusting, and so you should keep away from this person. But that is all that I see for you, group number 6. I hope you enjoyed this reading, and if you did, please subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you in my next reading. So bye.